we're here with Melanie Lloyd. Congratulations. So, the news is that you're retiring.
It's hard to believe.
What made you decide to retire?
Well, I am completing my 20th year of teaching orchestra here in Worthington. So that seemed like a good 2 decades of work for me to cross the finish line for. I also have reached retirement age as of my birthday in December. I'm not afraid to share my age, 66. And so I've reached that age where I can draw benefits from my pension and Social Security. So now that I've finished this 2 decades of work in Worthington, I'm looking forward to going back to where I started from, and that would be North Dakota, where I was born and raised in Fargo, North Dakota. And I have children up there and grandchildren. So my son Philip lives in Castleton with his wife and 3 children, and my daughter Heather lives in Horace, North Dakota, with her husband and 2 children, one child, and all of my family up there is looking forward to my return to North Dakota, and I'm excited to possibly do some lessons in my home and to maybe sub in the school district there because they have orchestra going. That's where I grew up. So that's how I became an orchestra teacher and a string player.
What made you interested in music in the first place?
Yeah,
You've had such a distinct long career in music.
yeah.
What brought that interest in the first place? Is
Thank,
it is it something that you've always knew you want to do, or just one day it just clicked?
yeah. I had such great teachers in the Fargo Public School District. I never wanted to be done with elementary or middle school or high school. I loved my teachers, I loved my classes, and it could have been anything from math to science to music to languages. I studied Spanish in high school, and then when I went to Concordia College, I studied German. And so I knew I always wanted to be a teacher, and I didn't know if it was going to be math or science or languages or music. So when I entered college, I was taking my basics and sorting through what maybe discipline I would pursue to be a teacher. Calculus in college, I said that was enough. I worked really hard to get I think a B grade in college, and that was enough. Sciences too, those were physics, kind of like said, oh, okay, this is not where my brain is cut out for. And languages I loved, it was hard for me to choose, but then I always loved playing my violin. I loved playing in the orchestra, and I was teaching private lessons on the side, so that kind of directed me to continue my path to pursue music education.
Was education in your family? Did you have come from a family of teachers, or is it just something that, like you said, you were interested when you were younger, and then you just knew you had a following for education?
Yeah, good question, because I didn't have teachers in my direct family, but cousins and things in my family had pursued education, and I looked up to them. They were older, and I admired them for their teaching work, education work. And then as I was married and started my family, many of the Loy side of the family were educators, and because I had so many examples that I really looked up to, I can think fondly of all of my music teachers and my language teachers and even my science teacher. I got to, as a junior in high school, work alongside my 7th grade science teacher, Mr. Popacek. And he was the North Dakota Teacher of the Year, and he went on to the National Teacher of the Year. And he asked me as a student to write him a letter of support. And so I have so many good memories of those teachers that I looked up to. And that is why, I wanted to become a teacher, as they were so influential with working with students. I wanted to be like that.
Fargo, North Dakota, it's quite a ways from Worthington, Minnesota.
4 hours.
4 hours. So how did you find the small town of ours? How did it come to your radar?
Yeah, thank you. I'll have to blame that on my husband, and I'm not married anymore. So I'll be real transparent. But I moved around a lot in my 36 years of marriage with Mr. John Loy. And we had many adventures traveling. We lived in Florida, And I taught in Florida, and we came back to North Dakota. Then we went to the state of Oregon, and John Lloyd did his master's work at the University of Oregon, and I was a mom at home with our children as we started raising a family. So these are all good memories and a wonderful family life that we had. But we moved many times. Florida, back to the Midwest. Oregon, back to the Midwest. And then we moved down to Sioux Falls, and then Sioux Falls led us to come over to Worthington. It was an opening for my husband and Adrian. He worked there 4 years, and then they told him about the Worthington job, and that led us to Worthington. So we came as a family, and my daughter Heather was sixth grade going into seventh grade then. So she graduated Worthington High. So I have one in my family that is a Worthington High School graduate, and then she met her husband here. As far as Jonah Oberlo also graduated then from Worthington High School in 2012. They went off to college together and graduated in 2016, and then they're married and have their family in Horace, North Dakota. So we just found out about Worthington along the way as people shared with us about a music opening, and we came, and it was my mission after Mrs. Beth Habicht had retired to really carry the torch to grow orchestra. I saw Mrs. Habicht as a wonderful role model and teacher and educator, and I thought, she can't be ready to retire. She looks entirely too young. But 20 years ago, she stepped down, and I interviewed for the job, and they offered it to me. And I thought in coming to Worthington, I would work to grow the string program. So I was handed 94 students, 4 through 12, in those days, and there's over 430 students playing right now, 4 through 12. So I feel very blessed to have worked in the district for 20 years, and the staff, the music staff I teach with, my administrators, and it's just steadily grown as we share our love and passion for music. And I've loved teaching strings. That's all I've done all my life. I've never taught band. I've never taught choir in the schools. I've never taught general music. It's always been orchestra. That was my wish. And I love strings, and I play violin. And as a teacher, I instruct on viola, cello, bass. But it's been a wonderful journey. And we were just led to Worthington along the path of talking to people and getting to know people. And I'm thankful for these 20 years.
Crazy the path life takes us, isn't it?
Yep.
Out of, many years of educating, many students come and go. But is there any lessons you've learned as being an educator, as being as an instructor that you learned across the way that stuck with you?
Well, this is going to connect to my experiences after college. I went to Japan, and I was 5 weeks in Japan right a year after college, and I attended the Suzuki School. And Shinichi Suzuki, the repertoire is well known, but he's died now. He lived to be over 100 years old, but I actually got to observe his lessons. His philosophy was nurtured by love. And I'm not trying to be corny as a teacher or anything, but my patience and love for students and my music and my passion, that's, I feel, what has kind of rounded me out as a teacher. I had all my college courses, my methods courses, my history and theory courses and everything to train me in my brain, and to prepare my skills. But I think, the human side of it is what's so important for us as teachers to relate to our students. I can say that because I hear that from my students. Mrs. Lloyd, we appreciate your patience, your caring, your understanding, so I have that feedback, and I'm very blessed and thankful along the way. I feel I can reach students better, than to just be a hard, I think I get my students to work better because I care for them genuinely, and everything. So I learned that the Suzuki principles was to train up a child. All are successful, to have the idea and understanding that everyone can learn one step at a time, and just break it down. If it's, a student is faced with some learning disabilities or difficulties, break it down to those one simple steps they can be successful at and build from there. So I never like to no labels on students or what they can't do. I take them where they're at and see how I can help them, guide them, develop their talents and things. So to just be human, and those would be the things as a teacher that I, feel I possess and genuinely work for as a teacher, to be caring for my students.
And someone who's traveled, and as you said, you've learning other languages. I would assume it helped you connect with, because Worthington's such a diverse place.
Yes.
I assume it helped you connect with so many of the different culture of students and staff that's came over the years. And how was it seeing that all that diversity compared to other places you've been?
Yeah. Well, I've just loved it. I guess because I studied languages and I lived in Florida, I lived in Oregon, um, I was open to the diversity in those areas of the United States. And North Dakota is very much a European white, area where I grew up. So my roots are very conservative and sheltered, and not having the diversity. But because of my language interest and living in these different parts, like I said, of the United States, Worthington, it was exciting for me. And I guess the students that were attracted to orchestra were of greater diversity. My Asian students, my Hispanic students, my white, Caucasian students. Someone once said, Mrs. Loy, you have the United Nations in your orchestra. We can see the diversity among your big orchestra when I would have the all-school concerts. So I recognized it then, and I've just embraced it, and loved all of the sharing of cultures and things. I've been invited to different events for families and attended, and I very much love to participate in immerse myself in their culture as well. Mhm.
How was it working for a school district? Was there anything that stuck out from Worthington from other places you taught or studied?
Well, Worthington has been very welcoming, and the old sign that was at the entrance of the town, Worthington, you'll come to love us. That is true. And my administrators in every building, because as an orchestra teacher, I've had the privilege of working at Prairie and middle school and high school when I first started, and then with the intermediate school being a new facility now, I am privileged to teach there as a fourth grade teacher, under the leadership of Mr. Van Briesen there. But all of my principals way back and currently with Mr. Hastings here at high school and Heidi Meyer at elementary, I have valued them. They've always supported me and encouraged me, helped me through, any challenges or difficulty with scheduling. It's just been very wonderful. I've felt their full support, and I know I can openly go talk to them. The staff has been so always, working alongside me to give me help and success for the orchestra students and things. So I have to have their cooperation in order to be able to have lessons day to day. So it's been a wonderful place to work. And I can say, in another district, they weren't as friendly, weren't as helpful, weren't as open. You had to deal with those things, but I've had nothing but wonderful relationships, I feel, with my administrators and my colleagues and all the people that I've been privileged to teach with.
And as time goes on, there's always going to be a successor to the next, to the
Mhm.
next. So, any words of advice or anything you wish you would have known going into education as someone who's going to fulfill the big shoes you're living? Any words of advice for them, or something you would like them to know?
Thank you. Um, my current colleagues are the ones that are going to assume my position. I wish all the best for Mrs. Morgan Vosberg. She will be the new high school director and my fourth grade position, and we've hired a new person from outside. I just wish them all the best, and I just say, be yourself and carry carry with you all of the talents you possess to offer your students. Mrs. Vosberg is a very talented and advanced string playing musician. She's a wonderful violist. She plays in our Worthington Area Symphony. She's so wonderful with the younger students, and I can't wait for her to work with the high school students. She has that energy and drive that the high school students look forward to. When I stopped teaching at middle school and Mr. Paulson came, Zach Paulson, I was a few years out of middle school. I loved that level, and I thought, man, I can't keep up with him anymore. I'm getting older and I can't keep up. So Mr. Paulson's been perfect to work with his enthusiasm, energy, and his talent and experience at middle school. So I've just lived seeing it develop. They're going to just be fine by being themselves and working with, their music staff colleagues and everything, and just be themselves and bring their best game forward to the table. The students will love them for who they are.
Well, not so much of a question, but statement, but many years of educating. You know, I know many students I went to school that are very fortunate, talk very highly of you. So thank you so much for all the years of education you give us, for being part of the, not just part of the staff member, but part of the community, because you're someone who helped brought up the community as well. Through music, it's we bring up each other, and you're one of the pillars that help bring up each other. So thank you so much. And is there any last statement you would like to make to the district or to the community of Worthington?
Well, thank you, Oscar, for those compliments to me and sharing that. And I will miss Worthington very much. It's not an easy decision for me to say I'm closing this chapter of my teaching and my time in Worthington, but I will stay connected. I'm not going to just be so quick to say goodbye. I will stay connected in the next year or two with Worthington Area Symphony Orchestra. I'm on the leadership team for that. I helped found that here in Worthington. In 2010, we started. I came in 2006, so 20 years of teaching. And in 2010, with my Beth Habich, the former orchestra teacher, and Karen Pfeiffer and Sue Simonson, we had formed a quartet, and we sponsored the start of the Worthington Area Symphony. Dr. Christopher Stanichar comes away from Aberdeen, South Dakota to come and be our conductor for the last 16 years. And so I will probably come every couple weeks, to help the orchestra in the fall and in the spring. And so I won't say goodbye to Worthington yet. I have many friends here, and I will want to support the students and their successes, in their upcoming years and everything. So it's only 4 hours away that I'll live. And so I will find my way back to Worthington and be helping the symphony yet. And then I know I'll be getting busy in North Dakota with my family. I look forward to my time with my grandchildren. I have my oldest that's going to start high school and my youngest that's going to start kindergarten. So I have those years to be a grandmother, and involved with their lives more than I have been able to be a part of. So I'm looking forward to that. So.
Well, no matter how far you go, Mrs. Lloyd, you're always going to be a part of the Worthington community. So you're always welcome back. And like you said, the sign coming in, you learned to love us. Hopefully you did.
Yep.
And, you know, with all of the work you've done with WASO and the Worthington district, thank you once again. And if you have any last remarks you would want to say, but on our behalf, thank you so much.
Yep, you're very welcome. And thank you for this opportunity to have a conversation with you about my career and my life. And this transition's very strange right now as far as thinking that I'll close this chapter, but I'm very excited to how my days will look coming up and what I have opportunity to experience and do and to help in another community, and then to still stay connected here to give leadership, to what I've started with my friends that I want to make sure is on a successful path to continue. So yeah, blessings, and I'm so thankful for all that I've been able to be blessed with in Worthington.
Well, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Mrs. Loy. Thank you for all of you done congratulations on your retirement. I just want to emphasize how much of an impact you made on mine and probably many of your other students' lives. And your classroom not only enriched our lives, not through music, but also our lifelong skills and connections that we made. Thank you again, and congratulations on your retirement.
Hi Mrs. Loy, it's Cynthia Suksavath here. Just wanted to quickly say congratulations on your retirement, and I also wanted to say thank you. 8 years of playing the violin was such an important part of my life because of you, and I am so grateful for everything that you've done for me and how you continue to give back to the community of Worthington. So, again, congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for everything that you've done. This is well deserved. Take care.
Congratulations on your retirement, Mrs. Loy. You supported me all the way from 4th grade summer strings at Prairie Elementary until I was auditioning for college orchestras after high school, and without you, I wouldn't have started bass and wouldn't still be playing to this day and even teaching music to students. And I just wanted to say that I hope you know the gift of music that you've given is going to keep going long after your final Hummel Concertante this spring.
Hello, Mrs. Loy. Congratulations on your retirement. I'm so excited for you to enjoy this time. I just want to say thank you for the passion for music that you helped to cultivate in me and so many of my peers. I still remember coming to the orchestra open house as a young student and listening to you play each of the instruments and just being so in awe of your talents and wanting to be just like you. And then through my time in your orchestra, I just felt always so connected to you, and I could see the clear passion and care that you had for each one of us. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you have done and for the way that you have contributed to the music programs here in Worthington. You are special and you will be missed, and we are so grateful for you.
Mrs. Loy has shown up for me both in and out of the classroom throughout the years in so many ways. I remember almost quitting orchestra in middle school and her not letting me give up, but instead encouraging me to switch from the cello to the bass. Fast forward to my senior year, where she helped me form important connections and acquire a scholarship that completed my full ride to college. There were so many difficult times throughout the years that her unwavering presence and support helped me through, probably more than she realizes. Orchestra taught me discipline, resilience, and community, but Mrs. Loy taught me how to believe in myself. Thank you, Mrs. Loy.